March Madness, we started out with 68 teams earlier in the week. By the time we get through the weekend, we'll be down to the Sweet 16. How are those brackets doing, everybody? Mine are perfect because I didn't fill one out at all. So we're here to talk about our beloved HBCUs. The majority of them, all but one, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, their run has come to an end. But we do have to say congratulations to the Howard women's basketball team, their first ever NCAA tournament win over Incarnate Word. But then they got to the real deal, right? The number one seed, South Carolina, only 4 points at halftime. Not so pretty, but that's why I kind of like the first four. It gives those 16 seed teams a chance to get in there and compete and make history, get their first ever NCAA win, experience the environment, and then you really get to have a good measuring stick, a barometer to see where you stand against the real deal programs. So we kind of saw that today with Howard and South Carolina, at least on Friday as you watch this. Norfolk State, their men, placed out of the Final Four, if you will, a legitimate, straight-up number 16 seed. Things did not go as we would have hoped against Baylor, but when your star player has to sit out the first half because can't follow team rules, you know, that's a thing, right? It could have looked a little different in some ways. Norfolk State has done it before as a 15 seed, knocked off a number 2 seed, but this was not their year. Oh, Texas Southern. Johnny Jones is doing a great job. Last year against Michigan, they really got out-rebounded. So he goes out and he brings in Bryson Gresham from U of H, who was on the Final Four team just last year. He's at Texas Southern. He made a big difference, came in, was their top rebounder, topped and blocked shots, and really accepted his role as a role player offensively. He was just a hustle guy. I'm going to block shots, rebounds. But you kind of see when you go up against Kansas, like you need two Bryson Greshams, right? John Walker III, there was a 5-minute stretch where he was the best player on the court. But Kansas had a lot of John Walker III type players. So as Texas Southern, you see, okay, well, when the defense adapts to that, you know, what does our second, third, fourth option look like? And that's where you start to see the difference in depth. But give it up to John Jones. He is doing a great job. Coach Jones is recruiting. They are winning every year in the SWAC. Kind of feel like they're going to graduate out of that first four at some point, right? They've won 3 out of 4 of them. As they continue to gain pieces, maybe they can be 16, 15, 14 seed as time goes along. But really a great job and a great year by Texas Southern. But it's kind of hard. There's a lot of people probably going to lose to number 1 seed Kansas before this tournament is done. Our last ray of shining hope falls with the Jackson State women. Coach Tomekia Reed. They're going to take on number 3 LSU on Saturday in Baton Rouge at LSU's home arena because things are a little different in the women's tournament. So you get a lot of that home cooking on that side. They have played this head coach before when she was at Baylor last year in Jackson State as a 15 seed. Had to play the number 2 seed Baylor. So they kind of got a sense of what it's like. Coach Reed went out and got some more pieces, but I'm not going to talk forever about it. Let's hear from Coach Reed. This is courtesy of the pregame show, our content partners, as she gets ready for her team's battle against LSU on Saturday.
Going into this game versus LSU, we match up well with this team. Across the board, statistically, we match up with them well in height. In experience, we match up with them. We may have more experience than they have, considering we had an NCAA appearance last year and they hadn't gone in a couple of years. So, you know, but to see ourselves as underdogs, we are, simply because we're the 14th seed and LSU is at home. So we got to take that into account as we go into this game. It is truly an honor to be representing Jackson State. Just considering the fact that this is the community I grew up in. I watched Jackson State across the years, attended basketball games, attended football games, and now here I am at the helm such a prestigious institution and such a phenomenal basketball team, it just brings a lot of joy to my heart. Yeah, we had a 4-year plan coming in. I had a 4-year plan coming in, and we've done that. We've answered, and we've been right on track with things, and it's just a great feeling. It's a great feeling to see the program grow. It's history. It's history being in the making, and to be here and one day retire, and to know that all of this started, during my era. It's a phenomenal experience to be able to go through. And also to represent the HBCUs, to represent Black women, our coaches. It's all about respect. It's all about attention, positive attention. And that's what we're hoping that we're able to show every day in the way we compete and in the way that we carry ourselves. And, I'm hoping that our young Black females can say, hey, we can do this. We can be successful. We can be history making. We can, make a change and create change and make history, create history. I just pray that this opportunity that we are experiencing can open the doors for a lot more people. I'm just truly ecstatic. I'm full of a lot of joy right now. But nevertheless, those feelings have to be, held together, because we got something special to go do. And I think we got a great team to go do it. Over LSU is going to be simply to play tough, to play aggressive, to be resilient. We can't have too many high moments, and we can't have too many low moments. We have to stay consistent and very solid. Obviously, LSU is going to come out with a big major punch. Kim Mulkey does a great job in really getting her group excited and getting her group going. And so we're going to have to match that intensity and exceed that intensity. Again, across the board, we match up well with them. But we're going to have to slow them down in transition. We're going to have to man the rebounds like we've been doing all year. And we got to take good shots. We can't take quick rush shots. We got to take good shots and defend, and make them defend. But again, I'm excited about this matchup. I think this is a great draw for us.
All right, thank you again to Chuck, Neely, and Alexis over there at the pregame show. We appreciate that interview. I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to bet, and I'm not going to bleed from my heart and say, oh, absolutely, Jackson State is going to pull it off. I'm also not going to say that Jackson State cannot pull it off. This is a complete team. Amisha Williams-Holiday, she can rebound and score as good as anybody that I've seen in the post in college basketball. She is very talented. Deja Rogan was the SWAC Player of the Year last year. She was second team this year because Coach Reed went out and got more pieces. Her role kind of dropped back, but she's still just as good. So they've added more players, higher quality recruits. It's all part of that plan that Coach Reed was talking about. So here she is on the cusp of making history for this Jackson State program. Back in the day, they did beat LSU before. I kind of saw that on social media this week. So it has happened before. It is possible it could happen again. It's going to be a tall task, but this game, really a seminal moment for the Jackson State women's basketball program. I'm going to be watching. High expectations, high hopes. We're going to see what's happened. We will see. Listen to how excited I am. Can't get my words out. We'll see what happens in that game. Make sure for post-game reaction, you follow us, HBCUGameDay.com. I know the pregame show is going to be there Saturday, so man, if it really goes down, we will have the inside scoop for you. I promise you that. Really looking forward to it. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. How will Jackson State do, a number 14 seed, against the number 3 seed, LSU, at LSU's home gymnasium, Pete Maravich Center? What are your expectations? What are you thinking? How interested are you in watching the game, our last HBCU in the NCAA tournament?